Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Mancunian Way, episode 15 of Blues Down Under. I'm your host, Patrick, and joined with me this evening to chat all things City is Alan. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, actually. I've had a busy day.
Yeah.
Sorry, a bit late, everybody. Unfortunately, I had my dinner late tonight, so I had to get downstairs pretty quick to speak to you guys. So I'm all right. Okay. All good.
Yeah. They call that a slight delay in Whitefield, so yeah, time goes a bit slower there. Yeah. No, it is what it is. I don't know, how's this week been for you, mate? It feels like it's been really slow for me. I don't know if that's international break or anticipating what's coming up this weekend. I don't know. It just feels like a bit of a drag for me.
Well, international week, I did wake up this morning and watch the England game, and they played okay, to be fair, with a pretty average side. You know what gets me as well? That after the victory on the weekend by England, is that people on the radio like to talk shite, come on and say we've got world-class players. What world-class player have we got that's played for England? And don't say Harry Kane, because he's a good player. We've got good internationals, but that's all they are. And the team we've got right now, there is no world-class players in our England side. So we played all right this morning. We battered Serbia, but they worked hard, the team. And I tell you what, I was really impressed with the lad from Villa who used to play for us,
Morgan Rogers.
Oh, he was awesome. He looks a very, very good player. We missed out there, you know.
Did he start or come off the bench?
He started.
Okay.
Mate, I'll tell you something. He was brilliant.
Okay.
He was brilliant. He looks a good footballer. He dominated against us at the park. Was it last year or the year before? And we've missed out City there quietly. I'm telling you straight. And after the turnaround of players this summer, mate, he would have got a game for us now. Seriously, he's a good footballer.
Yep.
Really is.
Did you get to watch the Socceroos at all?
No, I've not watched them. Not watched them.
Looked rusty in the first game in Canberra at the end of last week, but they played really well against New Zealand yesterday. Those young fellas, Toure and I forget, I can't remember his name. I'll figure it. I'll find out later. But those two, they were unbelievable. If you get a chance, have a look at Toure's. Yeah, we've actually the Socceroos actually have a player named Toure in our squad. have a look at it. Have a look at the second goal. It's absolutely stunning. Like it's something out of like you would see in European competition. It's absolute quality, absolute class. Yeah. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I took from that game that you just feel like we can take going forward for the next few months. Yeah.
What do you think of the new generation of players Australia have got now?
They look good. They look good. They seem to be going away from, our main strength being physicality. I think at the end of the day, Australian footballers are always going to be more physical, but there is a bit more quality there. There seems to be a bit more of a better tempo in the way they play as well. They, in games where they're probably going to dominate possession, which is you're talking about 2/3 of Asia, basically, they look solid. They don't look like they're necessarily playing sideways or playing on the back foot all the time. And then when they're playing against stronger sides, then they actually do set up pretty well on the break. And I've got to give credit to Popovic. I think, we've been screaming with Socceroos, we've been screaming for local managers for years and years and years and years. And we always keep going for whatever's best on the international market. But then, Craig Foster helped actually, even though I don't like Craig Foster and, he's Sydney FC scum to me, but he sort of instilled a real sort of identity at the club there. And, he took them as far as he could. And now you've got Popovic in there who's working wonders. And we all know his history with Australian football, given, he played a few years over in England. I believe he was at Palace and maybe a couple of other clubs. But also, too, what he did with the Western Sydney Wanderers winning the Asian Champions League, about a decade ago. So there's a lot of things to look forward to and a lot of things to be look on the up and that. And, at the end of the day, I think our performance in the States, in the United States, is going to be dependent on who we get drawn against. I don't think, I originally wasn't going to say I don't think we'll have the chance to acclimatize like we did in Qatar in 2022.
Yeah.
But also saying that there's a lot of young players now who are starting to actually go to the MLS. One of the big ones, of course, is Aidan O'Neill, who signed a few months ago for New York City. And he's actually been doing pretty well over there playing for them. So he's a regular in the Socceroos squad now. There's a couple of other guys there. My names elude me at the moment, but they've all signed for a lot of the West Coast clubs like your Portlands, New York, Portland's, Vancouver, that sort of thing. Yeah, but there's a lot of positivity to take out of what we did though these last few days.
Just so people at home understand where Australia is in terms of producing talent and etc., and the way their leagues run over here. Anyone decent who gets to a certain level over here will get farmed out to Europe. The teams will get hold of them because they've got salary caps in Australia, so it limits them how much they can pay the players. Bringing players in is harder as well now because the clubs now don't have the finance that they used to have. So if you're any good as a young player, then someone in Europe will grab you, and they go because they have to go to get better. So the more players that they get over to Europe or even China or somewhere like that, the better, because they will get better because they're playing against better quality. Australia has a problem because it's a one league system. That's it. They're limited how much they can pay, and they're obviously limited about the standard of players they can play against because if they're any good to go. So it's very hard to sustain a good A league, as they call it here, and get the quality where they need to. They really do need to go out to Europe to play to get better.
Yeah.
So the more of the young ones that get to that level can go and get picked up by any team in Europe is better for Australia.
You do get the sense too that the players that are good enough to make it to Europe, there is still, I think with some players, there is still the complication of the politics of European football as well, because a lot of clubs there are very dependent on, players being around, whether it be before, during, or after international breaks. And sometimes some clubs don't favour players going away on international breaks if they're going to be playing the other side of the world and get injured and that too. So and the other big problem we used to have too with Australian football for a long time was a lot of these young players, especially if they went to a club of country of their like ethnicity, like let's say the Slavic nations or Italy or something like that, usually with the club that they would go to, they would not allow them to go play internationally for Australia And the only way that they'd allow them to go on international break is if they tried to actually switch and play for the nation of their ethnicity, basically. So we don't have that as much as we used to, but it can still be a factor with how football works the politics works for Australian footballs once they go abroad. I think going the MLS is good. I wouldn't say it's good in terms. It's probably a good step up from the A-League. I don't know whether it's a good step up if you're trying to get into Europe or the UK. But yeah.
It is just so people understand. That's why Australian football side tends to play a lot of games in England, because if they're playing in Europe, like when Kale was playing and Viduka and Kuhl, etc.
Our golden generation, as we call them.
They tended to play their games in England rather than anywhere else, because it was less travelling, because the teams didn't like them coming back over here. So you're competing with sports in Australia, like AFL and rugby league, and they're used to a finals, top 4 or top 6 going to the finals and play a playoff. So not necessarily the best side in the league are champions. So it's
silly, isn't it, mate? You play league format, and then the champions decide. You play league format for 6 months, and then your champion is decided by a month of cup competition. Like it's silly. It's very, very silly. It's like if you extended the season by 1 week either side and you took away the knockout, you could still probably put another 10 fixtures in there if you wanted to truly make it a league format. I mean, it works in Scotland. Scotland has probably less clubs in the SPL than the A-League does.
Yeah, but you've got a problem then because the teams are so far apart, the distances are huge in Australia to go play an away game. It's finance as well. It's finance as well, and it becomes a problem. The clubs don't earn a lot of money over here, and the team and the governing body in Australia set up like the AFL and the rugby league, where they take the majority of the money themselves.
They've always had a back seats for decades with all the footy codes.
It's bizarre. So it's so different to England, for argument's sake. But enough about that.
Yeah, enough of Advance Australia Fair, guys. Let's see who's in the chat this evening anyway. Vibes in the building. Good to see you again, mate. Omar Muish on crutches. Yes, we will get onto that. Looks like the injury list is getting bigger now with the weekend coming up. Gersham's in the building. What's up, lads? We're doing well. Thank you, mate. Kathy's in the building. Always good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you. David, hello to you too. Foggy, always a pleasure. Thanks, mate.
David.
Sorry?
If only it was David Silver, but it's not.
I get him to send some of the bottles of wine. That's probably why he hasn't a pre-season. He's too busy off making millions from his new winery in Gran Canaria.
Yeah. Well,
have you heard about that? David Silver's his top wines are selling at like top restaurants in London for like $250 a bottle, £250 a bottle.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing really well. Really
well.
Tamarind. I think it's called Tamarind or something, and I believe you can buy it in the UK. I don't know. I think it's almost impossible to get it imported here, but you can get it in the UK. It's called Tamarind, I believe, something like that. Yeah.
Well, next time we go home, I'll have a bottle.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying to get one myself. Yeah.
All mind going down to Task on King Street.
Yeah, I still haven't been yet. I really, really want to give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see who else is here. Connor's in. I feel bad for Mamouche injury. Yeah, me too, mate. I just can't seem to get a break at the moment. No pun intended. Yeah. Who'll start goalkeeping position, Alan? This will be one for you.
Well, listen, I'll understand if Donnarumma plays, but I'm hoping it's Trafford. But I understand why they might pick him. I'm not happy with him of what he was doing during the game the other night, which was uncalled for. No need to do that.
Less said the better.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a different view on that, and it's just not acceptable. So, but we'll see. We will see, mate. It's about. I don't think it's the side we want to pick at the weekend. It's about who's fit and who's not.
Yeah, we might get a starting 11 out there. We ladies and gentlemen, we might get a starting 11, but yeah, I'm sure we'll have a little bit of a chat over for the derby for this show. But obviously, a lot to dissect on Thursday night chat, so keep an eye out for that as well, guys. Yep. Connor Rigby hopes Donnarumma starts. Let's see. Yeah, Kathy, thank you. Connor, Amar looks better than Foden. Captain Harris is in the building. Big up yourself, mate. Thank you. Yep. Let's see who else is here. Yep.
He did play well. Elliot Anderson looks a good player. He did play well for England. I
heard Martin on one of the shows the other day. He did say though, if you wanted Elliot Anderson, and you got to get rid of Rodri. That's how it is, I'm afraid.
Well,
I think I'd probably agree with him on that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Donnarumma is on his way to Manchester. Will arrive shortly. Train with Manchester City this week in his debut in Sunday's Manchester derby, if selected. Yep. Yeah, Jack Grealish gets selected for the World Cup. I do too. I mean, it's a small sample size, only three matches in, but there's every opportunity for him this season, Connor. I think he's gone to a squad where he's not going to have two banks of five or a bank of seven, basically, to try and get the ball through to Haaland. He's going to have a lot of freedom there. He's going to have as much freedom as he ever did when he was at Aston Villa under Dean Smith. So, yeah, it's only going to do wonders for his game. And his
confidence.
Yeah, and his confidence. And small sample size, but at this rate, mate, he looks like he'll be a shoe-in for the England squad. Yeah. Watch Norway. No highlights. That was class. Norway highlights. That was class. Yeah, no, what bloody Haaland, what was there? Something like nine goal contributions? Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I believe it was like 5 goals, 4 assists or something like that against, I'll do an Alan and say, it was only Moldova, but, it's impressive.
He's still got 5 goals. His confidence will be high for the weekend, which will be good.
That's what Connor said. He was on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we get the ball to him.
Thank you, Captain. Yes, Tim Cahill was class. He's very, very underrated in the Premier League, I think. And for most Blues out there who remember Tim Cahill, he caused us a lot of headaches. And I'll tell you what, there's probably no more conflicted person out there than me. The amount of times he scored against City and that, and I just had to sit there and bloody take it. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's just, whatever. What can you do? I mean, I've got to say something too, like, I get why we have to do these international breaks and things like that, but I'll tell you what, just from a YouTube perspective, mate, it is very, very difficult to try and keep topics going. Like, I know I was talking about, I can't wait for us to start playing every 3 days so we can play ourselves into form. I think the same thing goes with this bloody channel. I need more games so we can get more bloody topics anyway.
Well, Martin has us going every single day. I was just like, what, Jesus?
Yeah, it's your channel. Let's quickly talk about the injuries now. God, I've lost count of how many there are, and I'm sure we can add one more to that because from what everybody's saying, it looks like Omar Mouche was injured in the AFCON World Cup qualifiers, I believe, their match against Burkina Faso, I believe it was. I've heard different reports. I've heard some people saying that, a lot of Twitter medics came out of the blue. Saying that apparently they all knew what happened to his knee and everything like that. But, Vibe did say earlier that he believed he was on crutches, but then also saw a photo of him after the match just walking around and sort of laughing with his teammates and everything. So, I will say
this, Pat. We'll say this. If he's got a swollen knee, no matter how much he tries and gets the swelling down, he's not playing Sunday.
Yeah.
No way. No way.
From what I've heard, Alan, they said it was bruising of the knee ligament.
Well, if it's swelled after a bruise, doesn't it? Yeah.
Sorry?
And if it's swelling, it'd be hard push to play on Sunday. Really will be.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Mark Viduka, striker. Yeah, he was bloody good.
He was a big lad, wasn't he?
Yep. Yusuf's asked, what would you say New Zealand are a better team right now than Australia? No, fair play, mate. Good question. Not a wind up. No.
No.
I mean, they've got probably a better striker in Chris Wood. But
I think the legend he is.
Speaking of which, too, he's going to be playing under Ange now.
No.
I think Martin's got no choice other than to pay attention.
Well, all I'll say is that how bizarre that is, where they got rid of a good manager. Bringing Ange, the thing is, I've had a bet on the book online today that for Forest to get relegated now.
Oh, that's a big call.
Yeah, Forest to get relegated. Ange is not the right manager for them. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. But let me ask you this though, from a Forest perspective, or like if you try to put yourself in the mind of a Forest fan, if they had a similar season to what Spurs did. And let's say terrible league season, but they ended up walking away with the Conference League.
No, they're in the
Edge stays.
Europa.
I think Edge stays because there's not as much
They're
pressure on.
They're in the Europa.
Oh, they're in Europa.
Yeah, Palace got relegated to the.
Oh, so it switched because of the whole Palace ownership? Yeah, because I had so many conflicting reports. I didn't see what the final outcome was. So,
yeah,
I mean, I think if the same thing happened to Forest that happened to Spurs, I think Ange would be more inclined to stay. Just because I think just with the way the hierarchy is in terms of media pressure and that, I think there's more on Spurs than there would be on Forest. I just think they would they'd take that trophy. And then if he was to do the same thing again the following season, then I think he's gone. But I think Forest, I think just the sort of not the hierarchy, but you know what I mean? Like
Maracas is typical bubble and squeak, isn't he? He's temperamental and emotional. Like you would know. Typical Greek, they're all the same.
Like Alan.
Yeah, it's true. They're all emotional, massively.
Not all of them. The Mancunian way does not don't start, okay?
You like that here? I live in the bloody area where they all are. They're all the same.
Ladies and gentlemen, our resident Malacca over here, Alan.
Yeah.
Don't start. Yeah. Marmouche, well, we'll probably find out more at the end of this week, mate, with the press conferences and that, because we don't know anything until at the end of every week anyway, who's available and who isn't. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alan, Derby Day. God knows how many you've seen in your lifetime, but they never get easier to prep for, are they?
I hate them. I absolutely hate them. The only time
I'm talking about the preparation, by the way. Just yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy when the final whistle's gone and we've won. Before it, I'm nervous as hell. It's going to be hard to do prep work because most of the players are away. Even Pep went to the Australian Open to see his daughter in New York. They've all been away, which I don't mind because it makes them relax. But the lads have played international duty. You just worry that someone's going to get injured. Now we have one. But the Derby weekend, I'll be honest with you, I can't call because I can't even pick a team because I don't know who's fit and who's not. There's around about 10 injuries from what I can gather that were last week. Whether they're going to be some of them fit this week or not, I do not know. So I think it's going to be impossible to call until we know who's fit and who's not. Really hard. And United play, I hate to say it, they'll play over the top and on the counter, which suits them better and doesn't suit us because we don't like it. We struggle against that.
Form goes out the door.
Oh, God, yeah. Always does in Derby days.
Yeah.
Always does.
Yep.
You've been to a few derbies over there.
Yeah, don't mind me. I've been to 4 and we've lost all 4. So as long as I go, we have a chance.
Yeah.
As long as you don't go, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to derbies when we've gone there and think a draw is good enough to get a draw against United when they were a good side and got draws out of them. I thought that was a win. But I just think with the new players we've got, the young players we've got, the injuries we've got, it's so hard to call. It really is at the moment. We're not exactly playing well at the moment.
No. But if ever there was a time to get your form on the right track, it's coming out of an international break and straight into a derby.
Yeah,
because I don't think you can't allow yourself any indiscipline. You can't allow yourself to take your foot off the accelerator. I think maybe this is the right fixture at the right time. Yes, the injuries don't help. I get that. That's totally fine. But sometimes you need a fixture to happen at the right time, and maybe this is that opportunity. Actually, this whole week coming up might be important. I mean, United at home, Napoli at home, Arsenal away.
When do we play Napoli? Is it next week? Midweek?
Yeah. Yeah, 19th, I think it is. So it could be interesting. Be a very interesting one there. Yeah. Chris from Perth. Oh, yeah, Chris from Perth. Yeah, good to have you back, mate. Yeah, I hope you've been well, mate. Thank you. Yep. He just wants to bet United. Not confident, though. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. SOS is in the building. Yeah, he arrived in Egypt on crutches. Or do you mean arrived in Manchester on crutches?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully precautionate, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Qantas asked, who will we start at right back? That's probably going to be the $1 million question, isn't it?
I hope it's not Nunes.
Would you start Rico, though?
I'd rather have Rico than Nunes. I'll be honest with you. I just don't rate Nunes at all.
Mm. It'd be very tough with Rico if you had to mark Cunha.
Well, listen, mate. Let's be completely honest. Not signing a right fullback was criminal.
Yeah, no, I know that, but then again, we said the same thing about the left back situation for years, and we still managed to get through it. So,
yeah,
we'll find solutions. We'll see what happens anyway. But yeah.
I'll be honest with you, when they sold Akanji, I was like, oh shit, because I would have played him at right fullback. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I'll probably agree with you. I think it just has a bit more consistency to it.
Mate, he's still, even on one leg, he's better than those two.
Mm. Yeah,
he really is.
I'll probably be inclined to agree with you. Yeah. But I suppose, we have to trim that squad. We have to take what was offered to us. Otherwise, it's just going to be as many players sitting at home as there are sitting on the bench. So,
have we got any kids in the EDS that play right fullback?
None that I'm aware of. Chat, if there's anybody who's more in touch with the academy squad and who's playing right back there at the moment, because it's funny you say that, because you could say, oh, they have this player at right back, but for all we know, it could be a Rico Lewis, someone who plays midfield. So, because the culture of midfielders playing as fullbacks, wingbacks, and everything like that doesn't just leave in the first team. It trickles all the way down, all the way through the divisions, the academy.
I'll tell you what happened last night. Jed Spence got his England cap last night, playing right fullback.
Yeah, was he any good?
He did all right. He did nothing wrong. Came on us off the bench. Did nothing wrong. The game was already won. He did nothing wrong.
Foggy, done it again, mate, with the 10 memberships, mate. Absolutely. I'm absolutely unreal from you, mate. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. You are, without a doubt, our top contributor to this channel, mate. Thank you so much for everything.
Legend. Whereabouts in Manchester? Foggy, can you tell me whereabouts in Manchester you are? Or where you up to in the UK? Be nice to know.
Yeah. You'll look forward to seeing you in about 3 years.
You'll see me next
May.
No,
that's right. You're going over in May, aren't you? Yeah, you're going over in May.
The ticket's not booked and done. I'm going over.
Yeah. You've already got it sorted with Steve Bardsley?
It's all sorted, mate.
Yep.
Already sorted.
Yeah. Haven't had your thoughts on the APT case. Obviously, we've had a good talk about it. Not here, Daps has chatted about it, Big Steve's chatted about it. But just wanted to have your thoughts. Obviously, we've decided to settle out of arbitration with the Premier League. Obviously, come to some sort of agreement, over what the length or the cost of the contract is going to be over 10 years. But from what they're speculating, it could be anything from a minimum of 1.5 billion up to £2 billion over the course of 10 years, which Stefan Borson said on Talkshite was it was going to be the most lucrative sponsorship deal in English sports, I believe. Yeah. Definitely English football, but English sports, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's going to boil the piss of all our opponents, isn't it? That'll go absolutely apeshit. I've had our famous Leo Turner kicking off saying we cheated again and we paid the Premier League off and all sorts of crap. It's all coming out. So I'm going to enjoy winding up. I just want the 115 over, mate, and get it done. And
do you think there's a chance it gets announced next international break?
Yeah,
because I think do you get the sense that this was a precursor to that?
Yeah.
So I think in a month's time we might finally hear something. So keep your schedules open, people. We may be having there may be a 24-hour stream coming.
I've got a penance to pay because I said we'll get pinged, as you know I've done. But if we get proved innocent and we get no guilty verdict, and we're not guilty, I've been taken to the local tattooist and having a tattoo on my right arm of the treble. So that's going to be filmed, and I'm scared of needles, so that will be enjoyable for people that want to watch that. But we are going to film it. No, that will be funny.
He scares needles. So the second you start getting your first tattoo, you're just going to be yelling at the tattoos. You're shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're shit. Finish your job.
So have it done. We'll film it. We'll stick it on the channel for full entertainment.
Adam Quinn's going with 5-1. Yes, I love that. Yeah, you got some chest, mate. Big up, mate. That's fantastic. Yeah, and Blue Cactus Bar has put a £1.99 super chat in. Erling 5-2. Oscar Bob, excellent cameo. Yes, good to see our two Norwegians look like they're in some pretty good form at the moment. And yeah, I think I would not be surprised if we see Oscar Bob start in the derby. I'd be happy to. I'd love to see some more academy players playing in the big games now. Yeah. So yeah, good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, derbies for me have always just been like this case of. I mean, unless I'm over there, I'm more negative than you if I'm over there watching a derby because I just know what's going to happen. But like, I've got to also say, like, I do everything in my power to try and literally disconnect from everything that's associated to football that week, and then maybe like when the lineups come out an hour before, that's when I'll start getting interested in it. Because the amount of times I try and build myself up and I think about it, by the time you get to like the weekend of the derby, you're a nervous wreck. It's horrible. You feel worse for derbies than you do cup finals.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
I remember when we played United in the FA Cup final week before the Champions League final. I was in the Imperial watching that game, and I was more nervous for the derby than I was for the Champions League final. A lot more nervous.
I don't know. It's like it was the weird experience for me because that was the first time when I'd realised that was when our like fan base, at least from a Sydney perspective, was actually starting to have a bit of a presence. The amount of people that turned up at Cheers that particular evening was insane. Like we've gone, I've been involved with this supporters club here since the late 2000s, basically. In some capacity, I've been involved since the late 2000s. And never, ever in the history of our group, both from when it was run by the old guys, Matty Coleman and all those guys, to when myself and Tanya started up again back in 2017, we've always called ourselves the greater minority. I think we have the best fan base, but obviously we just don't have the numbers. And then when you had Vanessa, our gaffer at the pub, bless her, even though she's a Liverpool fan, she's got a heart of gold. Lovely, lovely, lovely girl. Always looks out for us. She came up to me about probably 45 minutes before kickoff. She said, "Never thought you'd see this." And I was like, like the treble. She goes, "No, I've already had to turn people away to Three Eyes Monkeys, the pub next door," which is like the sort of thing that like Celtic would deal with if they were playing Rangers in a cup final, if Liverpool were playing, Everton, or if they were playing like a cup final themselves or something like that. They would just get overflow like an hour or two before. And yet here we are facing United in a cup final, hoping to get a treble. And here we go. Like, you never expected anything to happen like that. But it was kind of weird for me because, yes, I should have been nervous for that game, but I was just buzzing about the attendance and the atmosphere that we had there that it sort of just took the nerves away. And I don't think I've ever felt like that before a derby. I don't think I'll ever feel like that for a derby ever again. So it was a really, really special evening. And then it was quite, and actually for the rest of the game, even though it was a bit nervy and that sort of thing, it was quite fun. Like I just seemed to enjoy myself. Like I remember when Gundogan scored the goal at the place, it sounded like, if anybody knows, like, like when English teams, the fans score a goal, you hear like a yeah. But then like when it's like South America, especially like Boca Juniors, Argentina, they don't go, yeah, they do like that deep bellow, that roar, like that. That's what it sounded like when the goal went in. Like for us, that place just went absolutely bonkers. But then what made it funnier was for the next 5 minutes after everybody had settled, I must have had about 10 people walk past me and say, "I was in the loo. What happened?" Because they've all just waited for the game to start, and then they've just gone to loo and bloody missed the first goal.
It was middle of the night, wasn't it, for the FA Cup final?
Midnight. It was midnight, which was midnight on a Saturday night, Sunday morning, which was as good as we could have asked for a cup final, to be honest. Yeah, you can't get much better than that.
Yeah, well, you understand, in Sydney, not in Melbourne, but in Sydney, majority of people live in the suburbs, but the pubs in the centre, and they have a rule in Sydney: you can't wander around the streets and go into pubs because they have that lockout.
Oh, we don't have that anymore, mate. We don't have that anymore.
I think they changed that.
No, we scrapped it about 6-7 years ago.
Well, that's yeah. And then it's really difficult to get in public transport wise into Sydney because there's hardly any apart from one train line. So it's very, very difficult. Whereas in Melbourne, you've got, it's easy to get to and there's plenty of public transport all the time. It's a lot different. We had three rooms in the upstairs full for that United game, and they were full, multiple screens. And I remember I was so nervous. I couldn't stand still. It was terrible. It was absolutely shocking. And when it went one each, I was just stood near the bar and I was just like, oh my God, I can't bear this. But when we won, I was over the moon. But because it was all about next week.
Yeah. If you talk about all the matches you've seen in Imperial, where does that rank in terms of the best ones? And if that isn't the best one that you've watched with the Melbourne group, what has been the best one? Like, what's the one that still stands out for you that was just a great night all around? Like, you had fun. You had fun. Everyone had fun. The result was great. Like, everything ticked all the boxes. Yeah.
Champions League final was unbelievable. All the backpackers came in that were English, and they all said thanks, Alan. It was just like being at home. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. The derby in the FA Cup was good, but if I think I had to choose another one, it would probably be the Real Madrid one when we played in the semi-final.
The 4-0.
When we won 4-0 at the Etihad.
Yeah.
That was downstairs in that front bar room. Because it was obviously 5 o'clock in the morning when it kicked off. And it was just, I would say it was more of the regulars that coming week in, week out. And it was, the atmosphere was unbelievable. And we just celebrate. I couldn't believe it.
It was a situation where it was like you wanted to celebrate, but you were just in shock at the way we played. Well, you're like, I should be absolutely apeshit, just enjoying myself right now. But it's like, this doesn't happen. This is not a Manchester City thing to do this against Real Madrid. It was like an alternate reality.
Yeah, it was the best performance I've seen City play in a very long time, if not ever. Yeah. It was unbelievable. That semi-final, the way they played, especially first half, was unbelievable. I couldn't believe I was watching Man City. I couldn't. Because I still remember the days of going to Main Road when we were shit. And we're getting beat by Bury and getting beat by Stockport, you know what I mean? And being absolutely dreadful. And to see that was incredible.
Yep.
It was absolutely incredible.
I'm gonna pull a random one out for you. That was one of the best ones I've experienced. The cup final when we beat Sunderland, the League Cup final back in
Pellegrini's. Yeah, that was good.
Because even though that was about 3:15 on a Monday morning, we must have had about 60 or 70 turn up. Like I've never seen so many sick calls for work. Like it was just before we implemented the lockdown regulations. So I think it was kind of like the last chance everybody had to have like a proper night out. It was a good game. Obviously, both teams I think played really, really well. The Sunderland fans, there was about 15 to 20 Sunderland fans there that morning, and they were fantastic. Absolute, like real gentlemen. They hung around with us after the game, had a drink. They were really good. Like just a really good crowd to be around. And that one was just brilliant. Like the atmosphere, the way we sung it. It was the same as what we'd probably get like for a 9:30 kickoff on a Saturday night, but it was at 3 o'clock on a Monday morning. And I don't know if we'll ever have that again for a match like that at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult when it's that time. Like the game that weekend against United is going to be a 1:30 kickoff in the morning, Monday morning. Which you think about, if people have got to get up and then drive to the pub to watch the game for a Monday morning, then you've got to go back home, have some sleep, not a lot of sleep, then get up and go to work. It's not ideal. So the weekend, I can't see there being a lot in the pub, but there will be a few.
This is why football before social media was good, at least from our part of the world, because you knew that if you did, right, I'm going to sleep, I'm not going to watch this, I'll watch a replay. You knew that by the time you woke up in the morning, you didn't have to look at your phone, or you weren't worried about anything on the TV or anything. It's like if you put the replay straight on, you could watch it. You knew there wasn't going to be anybody who would upset you or anything like that, or you could just turn your phone off. But now it's like it's unavoidable. You're going to see what the result is. Yeah, you can't.
Someone will say something. And this is the hard part. I've tried to do delayed watch on purpose, and I'm in the middle of the night, I'm tossing and turning, worried what they're doing. I can't do it. There's no way I can do it.
Got another super chat here from Lee Gates with the £2. Great show, Pat and Alan. Thank you so much, mate. Yep. I just thought we'd keep it a little bit different tonight. Just talk about Australian things, just our experiences here as respective members and operators of our supporter clubs over here. Connor's going with 3-1. Yeah, that's kind of my default score. To be honest with that footy tipping that we're doing for this season, I'm probably just going to go 3-1 every single game because I'll probably be more likely to get them correct than I would be get them wrong. So, so we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. Blue Cactus Bar said, right. Oh, that was our academy right back. Who was it, mate? Was that no, it wasn't. No, not Wilson Esbrand. No, it wouldn't be him. I think he's left.
He's left full back.
He's left back. Yeah. Panit's in the building. It was positive when season started, but that Brighton game made me lose all hope. Panit, just chill, mate. Just chill. You know, no preseason, only playing every 7 days. I think from next week onwards, we'll get to play ourselves into form. Once we start playing every 3 days, I think we'll see us improve a lot more.
We're going to get
like I said, injuries don't help, but just keep the faith, mate. Keep the faith. We'll be all right. Yeah. Samuel, the under 23 right back. Okay. Yep. Connor's just said, Omar Moush is right back in Egypt ahead of scans to assess the knee ligament injury sustained against Burkina Faso. So he's gone back. Okay.
Well, shit.
Which makes you wonder that if he's going back, then he's probably not going to be really. No, he might be back in time to get to Manchester, but I wouldn't risk it.
I get it. He's not playing Sunday.
Yeah. Wouldn't risk it. Yeah. Oscar Bob cannot start. Doku on the right, Savio on the left. This is always the talk. We want Savio on the left, but how often does Pep do it? He's one of a few players we've always asked for. We said, should play on this side, play on this side, prefer to this side, but Pep doesn't do it. So, again, it's like, I get what you're saying, but obviously Pep sees something different. So, yeah, it's a weird one, that one. Yeah. Kathy says have some painkillers before you go for the tattoo.
Seriously, I'm dreading it. If that happens, one, I'll be ecstatic because we've cleared our way. But at the same point, Dave Levin, who's staying here at the moment from Whitefield, he said if it happens in the next 5 weeks before he goes home, he says that I'm dragging you to the tattooist and I'm going to pay for it. So I'm absolutely dreading that. I've not got any tattoos, don't like them, so that's going to be eventful.
Yeah, you know what's weird with me with tattoos is someone asked me years ago about would you get one. I said I need like a really, really, really deep excuse for it, losing a family member or something like that, before I'd even consider one. And then my mum passed away in 2016. She suffered a long battle with pulmonary hypertension, that sort of thing. And then all this time, the idea of a tattoo has never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
So it's like even then you think you're looking for a meaning, but then sometimes it comes along and you're just like, nah, not thinking about it, not for me. I've got no problems with tattoos, but it's just, I don't know, it's just sometimes just when you think you found the meaning, maybe it's not actually there at all. So, yeah.
No, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah. Pete said, who's watching Oil Brothers this week? Martin might need support. Yes, I think he will. Keep an eye on that. I'm not sure if it's over on Baz's channel through Black and White Eyes or here on the Mancunian Way, but do keep an eye on both.
Tomorrow? When is it tomorrow morning?
It'll probably be tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Don't they usually go before Thursday night chat? They usually go before Thursday night chat. So, yeah, just keep an eye on it. It should be on sometime in the next 36 to 48 hours, guys. So, yeah, keep an eye on that.
If any Newcastle fans are listening, fight your own battles. Go against the Premier League. You got the money. Just do it.
Yep.
The Premier League, the big six, try and think they can bully everybody, but they can't.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like you've got our support 100% because kind of birds of a feather in a way. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like it's your battle. You've got to go and fight it your way. So. And I'm sorry for him because it's like I kind of feel bad because it's like the drawbridge. It's like the drawbridge has come up, before you've had a chance to get across it. It's like, well, go build your own one.
Yeah,
go build your own one. Find a way in which you can battle because at the end of the day, I think this is still set up to be fairer for some than fairer for others. So, and we all know what we're talking about, basically. Yeah.
We've got rid of one one of the powerhouses at Aid Levy, he's gone. So, you know, you've got to stand up for yourselves, boys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame that we've had to the football's been put in a position like that where, they want to put like a, they want to kind of put like a financial sort of ASBO on the ankles of certain football clubs, basically. And, as we've always said, we don't want the Wild West, but sporting teams should have the liberty to go and, make their clubs competitive. And it's like, and we've always said this, it's not about a Newcastle thing. This is about any other club who may want to have a rich owner come in as well too. And it's like they want to, a lot of the owners come in because they want this team to be successful. Yes, it's obviously a business. They want to make money from it as well too. But if they get invested into the club enough, they want it to be a successful thing, because success is what brings you more money than just trying to go for certain league position every single year, basically. Like there's a reason why we're able to afford £500,000 a week for Haaland. There's a reason why we have a core midfield where every player is on about $350K a week. It's because we've done 15 consecutive years of being in the Champions League. That's your bread and financial. The league is your bread and butter in terms of your success. Financially, your bread and butter is the Champions League. From a financial standpoint,
it's both. It's both, because you get more from the Premier League.
Isn't the broadcast streams for Champions League more?
Mate, you get, for the winner of last year, it was 95 million they got in total. That includes TV money, right? For the Premier League, is 165 million to win it, including TV money. So it's more for the Premier League. But combined, if you've got both, that's where the money is. If you're doing both and you do it consistently, you've got the money.
As Kathy said, Big Steve says, by the way, they're supporting the young lads v Bolton Wanderers. Said get tickets and E1 check with him. So, anybody looks like the Academy's playing another match against Bolton in the coming weeks. So keep an eye on for that, guys. Thanks for the update, Kathy. Appreciate it. JMCFC's in the building. Hope you're well, mate. Omar was not you back. CFA until tomorrow. You'll have further scan tomorrow at Medical Center. Okay, yeah. So it's probably get an Egyptian FA opinion and then probably get a City opinion. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Alan, just a small blue heart on your wrist. Yeah. Yeah. And I can't pronounce this, but Mzwandila or something, I think. Yeah, thanks for the gift of membership. Thank Foggy for that, mate, while you're there. So, good stuff, mate. But, anything else we need to talk about, mate? I know off camera we wanted to have a little chat about, because we missed it, I think, during the off season, but we wanted to talk about back in 2015 when the last time City was actually on our shores.
Pellegrini.
It was actually the first time I met you, and I gotta say, good fun. It was nice to be around City fans and not have to worry too much about results and that. But it was quite interesting. Like an interesting few days, and it's a shame that we're so far away from the rest of the world that the logistics of trying to get City over for pre-seasons or any form of football doesn't really matter. But when we had that, we certainly treated it like as if we didn't know when it was going to happen again. And certainly at the moment it feels that way. So I don't know, I just thought I want to get your thoughts on that.
The week started, we were playing Man City with Pellegrini's team. We're playing a friendly against Melbourne City, but they couldn't. The rules of the competition to play these tournaments in the winter, they had to go up to Queensland first, up to Brisbane to play a game against Melbourne City, not in Melbourne, because they signed the contract for these tournaments. There was no games allowed to be played in Melbourne that week, apart from the Roma game and the Real Madrid game against City.
No, Melbourne City was the week before. It was the week before. Right. Probably would have been because all the venues were being used for football, for AFL and rugby league. Yeah,
majority of our supporters club flew up to Queensland, to the Gold Coast, to play a game against Melbourne City, against Man City, and I really enjoyed that because one, if anyone knows Australia in England, no matter if it's winter or not, the Gold Coast and Queensland is always warm in the winter, where Melbourne is always chilly.
Do you remember it being a nice day there? It was a nice day there.
It was a nice day. We're all in the bars on the Gold Coast, on the tram singing songs. It was good, really good fun. and I thought it was at home. And then when the game finished, we won up in Queensland, came back, and we got ready for everyone who was an expat from Manchester, who were City fans, to travel from Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide. Came from all over, even Hong Kong. It came from all over, and a few from Manchester, believe it or not. And we were all in the pub in the Imperial all week, every day. And I remember having time off work, and it felt like it was at home all week in the pub, singing City songs, getting pissed.
Yeah,
and it was
because if I get this right, before we played Melbourne City up on the Gold Coast at Robina, we actually tried to. They had a game behind closed doors, I believe, at the same venue against Adelaide United.
Yeah,
and from what I remember, there was actually, you talked about some people coming over from Manchester. There were some people from Manchester that actually did try to get into the ground for that.
Yeah, it was. So when you move over here from Manchester, like I did in 2007, you latch onto anything that's Manchester. You just do. Yeah, anyone that's from Manchester, you sort of latch onto them all the time, and you end up being really good mates with them, and you help each other out. And I remember the pub that week when they were here against Roma first of all, then the Real Madrid game.
We had a midweek game against Roma, and then we played, I believe it was a Friday or Saturday night match against Real Madrid.
Friday night it was.
Friday night.
Night.
I think Roma would have been a Tuesday.
Yeah, we played Roma first, and everyone was in the pub from all over Australia. We had a dinner as well, if you remember, to the Crown Casino for all the City fans, which Mike Summerby came, and Danny Tiato came to do like a talk and come in. And I remember Buzz, because I walked him in, and I said, Buzz, there's about 500 people in there. He couldn't believe it. They were all from all over Australia, and he thought there'd be only a handful, and it was full. Mm-hmm. And he said, I can't believe this. He stayed, and he was supposed to stay for about an hour. He ended up staying all night. It was that good. And Darren Seattle stayed all night, went to the casino after with him. It was a really good night. So the whole week was the Roma game first, which
the other thing I remember too was the Roma game was Raheem Sterling's debut. We'd only signed him about 3 days before that match.
Yeah,
it was on the first flight out, first class, probably Etihad. Down here, and they had him starting against Roma. Now, my memories of that were, first of all, the MCG was in a right state because I think they just relayed the turf, which for starters was obviously terrible because Pellegrini did come out and say something about it. He's like, this is one of the greatest sporting venues in the world, and yet they're relaying the turf right in the middle of an AFL season. Like, made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Yeah, it was just horrible. The thing that really annoyed me was also too was Raheem Sterling getting booed. There was every time he touched the ball, there was big boos going around. It's like two reasons. It's like, one, Roma fans, why are you booing him? He has no affiliation to your club. And number two, why are there so many Liverpool fans at the MCG?
Well, you understand in Australia, Liverpool Supporters Club in Melbourne and anywhere else is the biggest supporters club in Australia by a mile, by an absolute mile. And they've always, and that has to do with legacy 1970s and the families, plus the Italians always, the Greeks always latched onto Liverpool from the 70s, and that's where it comes from. But they booed him big time because they're all Liverpool fans. And it is, and obviously the Real Madrid. I didn't get in the ground at the Real Madrid game until 10 minutes. 10 minutes have already kicked off. 10 minutes because my ticket was. I got a ticket. And it wouldn't let me in. I had to go back to the ticket office to get everyone reprinted, and it was a nightmare. I remember I was up in the top tier that night against Real Madrid. There was 100,000 there, and people were sat in the stairwells, not just in the seats, because they must have let so many people in that night. It was packed, absolutely packed. It was a cold, wet night as well.
What really frustrated me was like. The two things that really stood out for me in particular was for that particular match was, Roma was a bit different because it was midweek. Not everybody could come down from Sydney for it, but we had a really good number of Sydney people come down for Real Madrid. And we tried everything to try and get like bulk bookings. Like we had about 30, 40 people at a time wanting to book. Like, can we all sit together and that? And Ticketek's like, nope, you can only buy 10 at a time. And then the weird thing was that like you'd be on the phone to your mate saying like, yeah, I'm going to book 10 tickets. And then somebody else from the group would be like, yeah, I'm going to book 10 tickets. And like you'd have a row of 10 and you'd be looking at the row in front of you and you go, yeah, the row in front of me, like let's say I pick row A or something. Yep, I've got 10 seats in row A. I can see that there's 10 seats in row B behind me. And they're on the phone going, I can't see row B.
Yeah,
so it worked in a really bizarre way where it was just like, it would just seem to be sort of blocking out like the opportunity to sort of just do mass bookings together. And also too, because the active section were the cheapest tickets, you got all the drunken yahoos who came in and just booked a ticket last minute just to come and say, oh, we can go see Cristiano and all that sort of stuff. And I remember it too, because there was a bunch of like Aussie Rules fans there and they're all wearing like Real Madrid shirts that they just bought from the gift shop out the front. And there was one guy who was so drunk that he didn't realize that hadn't taken the security tag off it. So he's walking around with this brand new shirt on with tags all on it and everything like that. And it was kind of bad because like, you know, you'd be wanting this, you'd stand up and you'd start chanting songs and then the security would tell you to sit down. So then you start chanting songs sitting down and then they tell you to be quiet. It's like, what's an active section?
The Aussies don't get football.
No,
they don't understand it.
Well, the ones that do are involved with the A-League, and yet they're seen as criminals by a lot of the establishment. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Like they talk about like fans being targeted at A-League games and that, and yet, you know, if you look at every single day when the Ashes is on, particularly the MCG, they have something like about 50 or 60 arrests every single day of the Test cricket. And what happens if you get arrested, unless it's something really, really bad? Look, go home, sober up. If you want to go to the cricket tomorrow, go buy yourself a ticket. And then there's people who go to A-League games who get targeted for doing absolutely nothing, and they end up being blacklisted from sports events for years.
They don't forget because over here, a bit like America, I suppose, they don't really sing, so they don't understand that culture. And when you're at home and you stood up at a football match, even though the seat's there, they don't get that either. They have to sit down, and you get fans all intermingle with each other, so they don't have segregation. So they don't understand that either. No. So it's very difficult. The Aussies don't. They think if you stood up and sing that you're being violent, and they don't understand the culture. Yeah, they don't understand the culture at all.
I mean, when you think about the derbies between the two Sydney clubs and the two Melbourne clubs, there is a sense of segregation there because they understand it.
Yeah,
I think there's enough. Yeah, there's enough understanding there, but also too at the same time, there's enough respect as well too, where it's like if there's family section where rival fans want to sit with each other in, you know, rivals amongst their own family and things like that, and that's fine. But it's like the active sections are always at opposite ends. They do their own thing. They keep away from each other. It's just how it works. So in a way, it kind of works, but it only works when most of the demographic of people that understand football culture as a whole, basically.
I always remember as we sent to Raz because company had gone on because his wife was due with her first baby.
That's right. Yeah, he left straight after Roma. Yeah,
that's right. We were against Real Madrid. We had a 16-year-old and two 16-year-olds as centre halves against Ronaldo, Bale, and it was
Ronaldo, Bale, James Rodriguez had just signed for him as well. Yeah,
and he just tore us to bits, big time. Yeah, had to play centre half to take.
Yeah, scored the penalty. I think we lost 5-1.
Yeah, it was hard for them, very hard because Real Madrid were at top.
James CFC's actually put something interesting about if we're talking about a possibility of like pre-seasons and that coming this way. It's 2026. City have a big drive for the Asia Pacific region. City Football Group adding a new club, Uzbekistan, to the list of clubs in 2026. Don't rule out a tour of Asia Pacific in the next 2 or 3 years. I've kind of been of that sort of thought that it may come in the next couple of years, mate. So thanks for the update. I know you have your sources in that too, and I'm glad because it sounds a bit similar to something that I've heard as well too. Probably not Australia because
too far.
Do you know what though? You still get a handful of European and UK clubs come out here, but I think they're taking benefit of the fact that you can fly direct to Perth now.
Yeah.
I think the logistics of trying to travel multiple flights to get there is a big factor. But now that a lot of these clubs know that you can fly directly from Europe to Perth to the West Coast, it's a steady climate. You've got a fantastic venue at Optus Stadium as well too. So I kind of get that. It
Yeah.
kind of makes sense. But let's be honest, mate.
Defense,
Let's be honest, mate. Even the worst preseason in the world, if it's in Perth, we're still going to go.
Yeah, yeah. And just so you understand the distance, just so you understand the distances here, a flight from Melbourne to Perth is 4.5 hours.
Yeah, Sydney's about 4 3/4.
Yeah, so that's
the equivalent of like flying Manchester to like Moscow.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a long way.
Yeah.
So
a lot of logistics to it. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. After that week of City being here, when they all went home and everyone gone, I was homesick for about 3 days because I felt like I was at home in that pub all week, and all you could hear was Manc accents. The sister came across from Tassie with a husband, and he's an Aussie, and we got her in the pub, and she was laughing and crying. So all I can hear is Manc accents. Brilliant! It was brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant. It was.
Yeah,
she was laughing her head off.
It just feels like it's been so long since we've had one. I just hope we get to do it again. You know, and I did say there was rumors about possibly Club World Cup in 2029, but we'll have to wait and see with that because I think FIFA might be leaning more towards using that Club World Cup thing as a trial to be used at the host nation for the World Cup the following year. But we'll have to wait and see. Greetings, Martin.
Evening.
Evening.
You okay there, mate? You're sounding about 56k modem.
All good. How are you?
Are you good now? Yeah. Too easy.
Good. Yeah. Sorry. What we've been nattering about? I'm just being nosy.
We just sort of chewed the fat on everything. We just obviously talked about internationals. I was just saying how I think we're in trouble now because Chris Wood's going to be managed under Ange Postecoglou. So, big mistake. Just the injuries. Obviously, Mamouche, we're not sure yet what's going to happen, but you know, all the Twitter medics have told us that he's basically his career's ended.
Yeah, he enjoyed that. He got an ACL. All sorts were going on yesterday. His career was,
Yeah, I don't know. We talked a little bit about the derby, but I wanted to deflect on it because I don't really want to talk about it until I get closer to it. So, otherwise I'll start getting nervous.
Yeah, but we'll do that more Thursday night when we do. Thursday night we got a real treat, as you can probably see. It's the Guardiola versus old Fergie debate. Quite right, yeah. So I thought we'd do it again.
Whereabouts are you, Martin? Because you're dipping in and out. Really bad line.
I'm outside my mum and dad's. Hang on, let me try.
Right.
Well, it doesn't sound too bad. It's just a bit bubbly. Yeah. Connor's just said here, breaking some Premier League clubs are known to be concerned by reports that Manchester City are now set to complete a lucrative new sponsorship deal with Etihad Airways.
Well, Connor, just so you know, the Etihad deal started in 2024, and it's been going for over a year, the continued extension, because it's been all over the stadium and all over our shirts. So the deal's was already signed, sealed, and delivered. They were arguing about how much it was. That was the thing.
Yeah. Yep. And Connor, Alan's just pissed off because we didn't take that deal with our brother.
I see. Yeah, fair enough. Oh dear me.
That's a good question, actually. What would be? Never mind how much it costs or anything or how lucrative the deal is. What would be the perfect shirt sponsor to have for Manchester City? For me, it would be Greg's. It has to be Greg's. If you had Greg's on the shirt, even if it was a sleeve sponsor, it'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant. You could have them for one season, and I promise you, within about 2 or 3 years, that shirt would become like a future classic.
If there was a company called Cheats, that would be the best one. or having 115 on our shirts for a season would be fantastic. Just taking the piss.
I've said I'd have BU115 HIT.
It's Bernardo Brewing Company, Vimto. He's put Vimto down there.
Vimto, yes, good shout. But you've picked the wrong show, Bernardo's Brewing, because Rich isn't here.
Well,
yeah, Rich isn't here. He's busy flogging Vimto to somebody. But anyway, yeah, Martin, here's a good topic of discussion for you. If obviously the Etihad sponsorship, who would you love to have on the shirt as a sponsor? And you can be as creative as you want.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Who do I want on the front of the shirt?
Get a choice of any company in the world. Who would you have?
Any company.
Any company. Doesn't matter how lucrative the deal is. It's like it's you. You have the choice. You have the choice. Like whether it makes a shirt look good, or it's something that would give you a laugh, or it's something that you would suit the shirt. Anything. Can be anything from aesthetics to financial to social preference, the whole lot. Yeah.
Can I go old school? I'm going to say brother, because I do like it.
It doesn't have to be the old ones. It could be anyone you want, and it doesn't have to be one that we've already.
Anybody. All right.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Bugatti.
Wow. I know it's technically Volkswagen, but hey, you know what I mean. I'm not saying bloody Ribena.
Costa, but I mean, you're stretching. You're stretching trying to get Bugatti as a sponsor.
I'm not doing frigging Costa. Can't get him a sponsor for the channel at the minute, bastards.
Have you asked them?
Yes.
Can you send screenshots of the email? You got to send screenshots of the emails to us.
I frequent your
subscribers. Our subscribers are at almost 7.5K, which we know is about the same as what you get through the Arndale Centre store in a day.
Kathy's come up with a good one. Cheetos the crisps.
Very good.
Cheetos.
I
think you're just off there for a second, Barton. But I said Greg's.
Oh, and I said what?
But I'd have Greg. I'd have Greg's even just as a sleeve sponsor. I don't care.
I say 115. Just for a season. It'd be fucking brilliant.
115.
Just for one.
But that's not a sponsor. That's not a sponsor.
If we got proved innocent, I'd have it just for the fucking sake of it. Just for a laugh. Just to piss them off. Berry black puddings. There you go, Kathy. Good girl.
Berry black pudding.
On the market, Berry. Tremendous. With some mustard on.
I don't know. It's yeah. Because I'm kind of thinking more old school. Like I'd go like the old Nintendo logo as well. That'd be brilliant.
See, you can't because Chelsea used to have Commodore C64. They used to have Amiga and Commodore.
Yeah, didn't they?
They did.
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, me personally, I'd love it to be Qantas, but that would just look weird.
Yeah, you can't.
But to be honest, aesthetically, that would look terrible. Sky blue shirt with a big red triangle on it would look awful.
Yeah, it would.
It looked horrible. It's like you remember that Chelsea kit from a few years back where it had that little red collar. I think that might have been the Champions League season when they won in 2012. They had that little red thing around there. It's just like, what's that for? Like it just looks so off. Yeah.
Remember when United got Vodafone as their sponsors, right? I had a Vodafone phone in England, right? And I rang up that day when they got the sponsor on the shirt to cancel my contract. And it cost me about £500 to get out of the contract, right? So I refused. I went to Orange after that. And I refused to give them any fucking money whatsoever because they sponsored United.
Yeah.
I wasn't on it at all. Hey?
Wow, Alan, that's commitment.
I did. I remember it. All the workmates were there, all United fans. So, are you serious? And I went, do not ever fund them red bastards. So there you go.
Anyone planning to come over anyone down under planning to come over this season? Alan said he'll be here in May for the end of the season.
Yep.
I should be over in January. I should be here when our FA Cup starts, which I think is about January 10th. I'm hoping for either a really good away day or like a League One side at home where I might be able to get discount. Where I might be able to get a discount Tunnel Club ticket because I'm doing my 40th birthday over there. So
Well, don't forget, by the way, there are Bolton Wanderers tickets are available. £10 adults.
When's the game?
£5 children.
When's the game?
20. Oh, when is it? 20 summer September. It's the day before the Huddersfield game.
Right. Okay.
Oh, 23rd? No.
23rd.
It could be off Australian time. So yeah.
Are you going to the Reebok, Martin? Are you going to the Reebok?
It's not called the Reebok anymore. I learn.
Sorry, it's habits.
I call it the Reebok.
To me, it's always been the Reebok.
Because I first started watching football when it was the Reebok and JJ Kocher, like, you know.
You call him JJ because it named him twice because he was that good.
Yeah, right.
Good team, Bolton. That'll be a nice game for our under-21s, that. But be an hard one. But yeah, we're trying to get a block. As Big Steve said, we're trying to get a block down there. So 1894 have asked us all to push this out, get it out. Let's get down there. Show the lads some support. It's only local.
Yeah.
And like 1890, if you can't afford the away days in Europe, come and join us there in Huddersfield.
Oh. Are you doing that and Huddersfield, man?
Yep. It's going to be like 1999 all over again doing Bolton and Huddersfield.
No, Huddersfield. Yeah, good old days.
We're basically doing a tour of the Pennines.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, they say nothing cures anxiety like a bit of nostalgia.
Yeah.
I think literally in the space of a few weeks, we're doing Bolton, Huddersfield, Rotherham.
Oh, don't forget.
Well, you went to Rotherham as well.
You just did Oldham. You just did Oldham.
Yeah, Oldham. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're going to Rotherham as well. Rotherham is Champions League night, which is really that's a bit of a sod, really. I'm sure there's a Champions League week that week, so we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I will say just to confirm, have you told them this show's moving part?
Not yet, no. Yes, but I will now. That's what I was going to say. As of next week, this show will be moving 24 hours later to Tuesday nights now. We had a bit of a group discussion, myself, Ozzy, Rich, and Martin. Sorry?
Earlier, not later.
No, a day earlier.
What time?
Yeah.
Tell me Australian.
It'll be Tuesdays. It'll just be the time will be whatever's preferable with the majority. Alan, it's just going to be moved to Tuesdays. It's more to do with just clashes with more midweek games picking up now with the Carabao Cup and with the Champions League. If we have it on Tuesday night here, there's not going to be there won't be any football on it. It'll either be the games, all the midweek games will be starting after like hours after we've had our show.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
We'll see. It spreads the shows out as well for everyone. So you're not watching two shows a day, which I know can get a bit. With everyone else, it can, we are asking a lot of people to watch everybody 3-4 times a day, which we do appreciate. But we thought we'd spread it out a little bit. Yep. Stateside will stay on a Wednesday. So you're going to have shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, potentially Friday. Oil Brothers is tonight, 8 p.m. That's going to be awkward.
Thank you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't wait for that. If you want box office guys, tune into that tonight. My God, I'm going to get destroyed.
That's 5 a.m. Do me a favour, Marty. Ring me up because I want to listen to that on the phone while I lie in bed.
Well, if you want to come on, mate, you can come on. Anyone's invited on.
Well, I'll have to get up.
Martin Cathy's just said E1. Apparently, it's the area is E1 at Bolton. That's all the tickets are.
Yeah. We're going to try and get one block sold, and then we'll see where we go from there because the blocks are bigger than Oldham. But yeah, Oil Brothers tonight, 8 p.m. Oldham on Through Black and White Eyes.
Okay, it is black
and anyone,
white.
Yeah, that's going to be so awkward.
Yeah.
I'm going literally. They're not No, Baz is fine. Me and Baz have not fallen out. Baz understands the game. You don't fall out with friends over football, but yeah, some Newcastle fans will probably give me a bit of stick, but it is what it is. I'm afraid.
Do you know what? I've got a 4:45 a.m. start at work. Hopefully, if we're not under the cosh a bit too early and on my shift and that, I might try and listen in a bit. So we'll see what happens.
So if you want to come and support me in the chat, that'd be much appreciated.
Safety in numbers, anyway. I think that'll wrap up the show for this evening. Alan, thanks for coming on, mate. I'm glad we had a good old chat about some fun old times, being City fans over here and down under and that. But like you, mate, I can't wait till we start playing every 3 days again. We're going to have a lot more.
I can't wait to
talk about now.
I can't wait till we get a full fit squad. They're all bloody injured.
Yeah, we'll take a number and get in line because we're all feeling the same, mate.
You want some breaking news? I'm taking my boots on Sunday.
You might get a game, Ryan.
I'm taking my boots.
Unbelievable.
Will they let you wear those in Costa?
Yeah. You didn't let me have a Costa at half time.
Yeah, don't get mud on me fucking floor. So just wrapping up, guys. As Marn's just said, Oil Brothers will be on a bit later this evening, UK time. Thursday night chat, keep an eye out for that. Should be any time. Usually kick off any time between 9, half 9. Just depends on what the majority want to do.
Tonight,
Stateside Blues as well. That will be when, sorry?
Tonight, 11 o'clock.
Tonight, 11 o'clock. No worries. Yeah, so keep an eye on that. The usual suspects, Eddie, Rajak, Tariq, should all be in the building. So, yeah, look forward to that as well. Don't forget as well, just to let everybody know now, there will be a Stateside Blues versus Blues Down Under watch along between the Socceroos and the US men's national team. I believe it's Tuesday, October 14th.
Okay.
So there's a friendly match being played over in Denver. It's it's midday on a Wednesday for us, Alan. So if you can, if you want to join in, if you want to be part of it, let me know. But I'll certainly make sure I got the day off work for that. But that should be a good bit of fun, and actually should be an interesting little fixture there, actually, because the US team apparently are in really bad form at the moment, and can't sort things out under Pochettino, and Australia seem to be flying high at the moment with what we've got right now. So I'm curious to see what happens there, but that'll be for another time. But until then,
are you going to have a bet that Angie's going to relegate Notts Forest
and win the Europa League?
Mate, he's shit. The fat Aussie PE teacher, as I call him.
Yeah,
I agree with him. I used to like him. I was thinking of him as a Pep replacement. I've gone off that idea.
Big time. The fat Aussie PE teacher. Yeah. I know you're going to stick up for him because he's Aussie.
Oh, no need for the fat, Alan. Jesus. Wow.
Yeah. True. It's true.
Get personal.
All right.
Yeah. So that's our main contributors to Blues Down Under, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for the record, Alan calls Australia Day Invasion Day. So yeah, just shows you what we have to deal with over here.
Yeah, I was feeling that my union.
He only talks like that to me because he knows I work for an airline. The second I start working for customs is when he's going to start shitting like a big black Alsatian.
Yeah, are you going to apply to customs? Are you going to apply?
No.
Going to say stick to
no. From what I've heard from a mate of mine, they only recruit when they recruit you. They only recruit you as part time.
It's not customs you got to worry about. It's immigration you'll have to worry about if he ever moves there because you're getting booted, mate. No,
it's federal police he's got to worry about.
Please, yeah. Like, matter of fact, when I was in coming home, I think I spoke to you. When coming home from Hobart, I was delayed 5 hours with the plane from Jetstar, right? And I spoke to a couple of Qantas air hostesses, and I mentioned you because you're from Sydney. I said, "Oh, do you know Patrick?" And he goes, "Yeah, big City fan." And he's going, "Yeah." She went. He said, how do you know him? So I told him, obviously. I said, well, next time I see him, you remember Alan? Just tell him that Alan, you spoke to Alan. So I did speak to him.
Do you remember the names of them? Do you remember the names?
Black-haired girl I was talking to mainly.
It might be Georgia. Might be Georgia.
Yeah, a black-haired
girl.
Georgia.
Yeah. It was Georgia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a sweetheart. She's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Nice girl. Nice girl.
No, good stuff. Anyway, guys, yep. So Martin and I have just given you the full schedule there, so keep an eye out for everything. Don't forget, Black and White Eyes will be Oil Brothers later on tonight, 8 p.m. Until then, always a pleasure, never a chore. Thank you very much to everybody. Don't forget to get out there, like and subscribe, not just our channel, but all the other channels. They should all be in the description as well. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Episode 16 of Blues Down Under. Remember, as of next week, we'll be moving to Tuesday, so please keep an eye on that. And I'll leave you to it. Looking forward to Thursday night chat. We will see you there. Plenty to dissect. Big weekend ahead. I think a big week, a couple of weeks coming up at City as well too. But, you know, hopefully, despite the injuries, City have turned a new leaf and we're ready to purr and get some good form going. So until then, everybody, thank you so much for all your assistance and all your help. To those with super chats and memberships, obviously, Foggy with the 10 memberships, always coming in strong as well. Big thank you to all of you as well. And we'll leave you to it. And until then, see you on the other side. And don't forget, keep the faith. We've only got Martin playing it right back on Sunday. So we'll look forward to seeing you then, guys. Always and forever, up the Blues. Come on, Setsy.
See you guys.